thanks so much everyone for joining. My name's Alex and I'm just going to be going over Steakwallet. We only have 10 minutes, so basically I'm going to give a general commentary on the space at large, touch on some of the pain points of other wallets, and then just shill you on Steakwallet for a couple minutes. As I said, my name's Alex. I'm the CTO at Steakwallet. You can find me on Twitter. That wasn't me. I'm this little green man, so that's how you know it's me. So maybe just a bit of commentary about wallets. Basically, we're in a position right now where wallets, they're the focal point of Web3 interaction. They're the touch point that people open every day. In the case of MetaMask, for example, we see protocol revenues far outstripping even some of the biggest DeFi protocols today, which is pretty crazy to think about. And we look at this space as just wide open for disruption, and our whole thesis is basically backed by three main points. So first, the move to proof of stake and the deprecation, I guess, of proof of work blockchains. This multi-chain future we're living in, and finally, we're all here at a Celo conference. This fact that mobile is eating the world. So just to quickly touch on proof of stake, I mean, we're in a situation right now where 25% of the top 100 coins by market cap are either proof of stake L1 tokens or predominantly the TVL is locked up on proof of stake chains. We see huge incumbents coming to the space, basically looking to deploy capital, especially into staking pools. The nature of these proof of stake coins is that if you're not staking, you're actually getting inflated out of your position. So we see a future where the first thing someone does when they come into a network is stake their tokens. And this is just totally, we're just at the cusp of this, right? We see proof of stake market cap growth rising hugely every quarter. So point two, right? We're living in an increasingly multi-chain world. We see we see Ethereum's dominance and how TVL is rising, but we also see splitting to other networks. The best metric of this is just looking at some of the bridge contracts on Ethereum and seeing how much TVL is spiking on them, and of course how the breadth of this the spread, right? There's just so many chains nowadays. Everyone here knows the pain, right? Of you have MetaMask and you have all your networks. You probably have 5 different wallets you use. So this is kind of at the core of our Steakwallet thesis. And of course, mobile, right? We already see that mobile won the Web 2 battle, and it's going to win the Web 3 one as well. I think it's a mistake nowadays to launch a wallet that's desktop only or browser extension only. There's billions of users in the world who don't even have a laptop or a desktop. So we just see more and more stuff is going to move to mobile, and we want to be at the forefront of that. And so, just to highlight again, these things that we see in the market that are wrong. So single chain wallets, in our eyes, they're just missing so much opportunity. A desktop first wallet, you're just cutting out so many users in the space. Furthermore, we basically see a situation where a wallet doesn't necessarily just need to be custody now. It can be the window into everything Web3. There's no reason a wallet shouldn't maybe give you news about things, about crypto news, new opportunities. Why should I have to go to Yearn, right, to do some deposit into Yearn vaults? Why couldn't I do that directly from my wallet? Of course, we all love NFTs, right, as well. So it's a nice bonus if wallets show that. So with that in mind, I'm very just thrilled to announce Steakwallet to you all. So we're basically trying to become the most powerful Web3 wallet. We have a range of features I'm going to quickly cover for you all. So the tagline is basically 20 plus L1s and L2s, Wallet Connect to do everything you can't do in-app. Of course, a fiat on-ramp, and I'm going to dig a little bit into our three-click staking flow, which I think I think that we're kind of pioneering, to be honest. Here's just a list of some features. So if you can spot your favorite network on there, probably for a lot of you here at Celo, right? We just want to be an omni-chain wallet. I think a multi-chain wallet's actually a bit of a misnomer, because we want Steakwallet to just be the thing you use for everything, whether that's Celo, right? Whether that's Cosmos, whether that's some bespoke Cosmos chain like Stargaze, whether that's Solana. With Steakwallet, you can basically just enter positions on every network, and you know, do you even need to care like what token your network's on, right? If I have USDC and I want to make a payment, I think a lot of people are happy just to accept USDC on whether it be Solana, ZK Sync, what have you. So the next thing that we are very focused on, right? The name Steakwallet, it sounds a bit funny, but it's because we launched initially with many staking integrations. It's such a natural opportunity to get yield as a Web3 user. So like I said, if you're not staking, you're actually getting inflated out of your position, especially in these early, highly inflationary blockchains. So wherever possible, we basically make it as easy as ordering an Uber, right, to get yield. To give it an exact example, right? So I don't know how many of you have staked Celo before, but you would know that it's basically like a 24-hour process. You have to first lock your Celo, then you have to delegate it to a validator, and then 24 hours later, you need to come back and activate those votes. And to be honest, these are just like protocol intricacies, right? But that is not going to fly for any new user to Web3. So what we did is we basically abstracted this all away into a one-click flow. And the Celo core contracts have this nice feature deployed like late last year, whereby anyone can activate the stake of a user. So as a value add for Steakwallet users, we activate your stake for you. So as soon as you click stake, right, you're in like this interest-bearing position. Something that we're also seeing now is like I mentioned with news earlier, right? Like it's so hard to see all your opportunities in Web3. So we're bringing like, I think my slide here says drinking from a DeFi fire hose, which is a bit over the top, but basically like I'm very plugged into Twitter, so it's natural for me to like see all these cool things on Twitter and try them out with my wallet, but for many people that's not a reality. So right in Steakwallet, now we have all sorts of sections for every network you could ever be interested in, showing all the things you can do. And if we don't have the integration like natively in Steakwallet, you can just take your Wallet Connect and scan the QR code, and sign transactions like that. This is going to be super cool, I think, for like highlighting new NFT mints or new airdrops in the space or new protocols with amazing yield, right? I think a big part of crypto is like you want to feel early, right? And I think with something like this, we can really help, give access to like a nice curated selection of early things. Just quickly, so moving wallets is a huge barrier. You can, of course, bring all your existing wallets into Steakwallet. So if you have MetaMask, you can just import that seed phrase right in, and you don't have to worry about like transferring your assets, which can get pretty pricey on a variety of chains, namely ETH. And same for like all the popular wallets like Phantom and Kepler, you can also import. For those of you that love NFTs, it's very cool to be able to like flex your favorite NFTs right in your wallet. I wouldn't recommend putting them on like maybe like your Vault wallet, right? You don't want to have like a big balance associated with any of these things. But we find it's like a great way to we don't have Celo NFT support yet, but it's going to come. So as I said with Wallet Connect, right? Like it's a kind of a foreign term, and like it's only really starting to blow up now. But with your mobile wallet, you can basically bring this to like any desktop dApp you want and sign transactions with your mobile. So that's like emphasizing the custody aspect of this of these wallets, which is quite nice. So we also support Wallet Connect v1 and v2. So maybe you're only familiar with Wallet Connect on like Ethereum compatible chains, but that's going to soon not be the case, and you can use them on things like Solana or Cosmos related ones as well. Yeah, you can of course buy crypto via your Steakwallet. We don't have this Wagyu debit card yet, but we're in contact with some providers to try and make it a thing. And so the future is bright. I think we're really going to be focusing on like this concept, which is like velocity of money. So we want to let people, maybe they're on Terra and they see an amazing opportunity in Celo. We want them to be able to switch networks right in the app, move all their assets over, and like enter these new yield-bearing positions. We're going to add hardware wallet support. I think this is, if any of you have large amounts of funds, you're obviously not going to move them to a hot wallet, and we hear you. We'll be releasing like a desktop version. I've heard phrases like the ape dashboard thrown around. I don't know what we end up calling it. But yeah, lots in the future for us. So that's me. I we'll be around the conference if anyone wants to come say hello. We also have a booth downstairs. And I'll hand it off to Jean from Valora.
All right. Hi, everyone. How are you today? All right. We're going to talk about how to integrate with Valora. So let's see if it clicks. Yeah. So my name is Jean, and I'm an engineer working on Valora. And yeah, I've been working on it for the last 3 years. And it was first part of C Labs. And my background is on mobile applications. And I started on the first iOS SDK a long time ago. And yeah, next part. So throughout this talk, I'm going to show display links. So yeah, if you miss them, you can just scan this QR code, and then I'll display this slide at the end. So yeah, you're in no rush. All right. So to give a little bit of context, we organized the bake-off contest for builders to feature their dApps in the new dApps page. And we got many submissions, grew our dApps page to 24 dApps. And throughout this dApps contest, we got many questions about how to integrate with Valora. And yeah, that's why we're having this talk today. So first question, why would you integrate with Valora? So yeah, I'm going to give you 3 reasons. So first reason is exposure. So with Valora, you get access to tens of thousands of daily users on the Celo blockchain. And I think this is one of the big reasons to integrate with Valora. Second reason is you want to provide Valora users a seamless experience with your product. And third reason is that Valora users can transact and send transactions all over the world with near 0 fees. And I think that's a really interesting feature as well. And yeah, so now that you know why you want to integrate with Valora, we're going to take a look at the first use case, which is simple payments. All right, so here is a QR code. And you see the little link at the bottom, which when you create this kind of links, you can directly, if you scan it, you are put into Valora directly. You can enter the amount that you want to send. And this is actually the impact market donation address. So yeah, if you want to scan it right now with Valora, you can donate. And yeah, I highly encourage you to donate if you can. And if you don't know impact market, it's a very cool protocol. I mean, they have created a universal basic income to alleviate poverty. And yeah, I think it's really one of the coolest projects on the Celo blockchain right now. So yeah, donate if you can. All right, and so this was just a simple example, but there are many more parameters that you can pass. You can pre-fill the amount and the comment and the token that you want to send. So all the details are on this link at the bottom. Yeah, you cannot really see it, but you'll find it in the global link that I talked about earlier. All right, next use case is about dApps. So yeah, can you name all these dApps? All right, so yeah, these are all the dApps we have on the dApps page today, about 24 of them, and it's growing every week, I think. And yeah, if you have some submissions, you can, oh yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, if you want to integrate with Valora, one thing to note is integrate with Wallet Connect, which is the industry standard for connecting dApps to wallets. And yeah, I've got a couple of links to get you started. So there's a great walkthrough from Josh Kreitz at Celo Foundation. And he also created a really nice dApp starter kit to get started on the Celo blockchain. And there's a smart contract example that you can play with, and the UI and some other nice things with it. So you can really try to start with your dApp. And another really cool option is use Contract Kit, which is maintained by C Labs. And yeah, check it out. It's really easy to get started. And again, you'll see those links at the end of the talk. All right, so now that you've created an app with the started example, what you want to do is integrate, list your dApp in the Valora dApps page. So this is really easy to do. You just submit a PR to the dApp list on GitHub, and there are a few requirements. So first, it needs to connect with Wallet Connect or dAppKit. Second, it must be mobile first, of course, because we want to provide a great user experience to all the mobile users of Valora. And next, last item is about providing user documentation, because yeah, we want to educate a user to use your dApp so they are not lost. Of course, if you can make a really intuitive UI, it's best, but sometimes yeah, user documentation is really necessary. All right, so now that you are listed on the dApps page, you probably have some ERC20 tokens that you want to get listed on Valora, and as of today, we support around 30 plus tokens, and of course, you probably want to see your own token in there. So here, the process is also similar to the dApp list, but we're still discussing it. We're going to provide a similar experience as a dApp list, so you can just open a PR on a specific GitHub repository. And because we extended the list from Uniswap, and that's why we had to copy and fork it to make it to list tokens for Valora. And so yeah, stay tuned on this topic. All right. Next part is Valora's transaction feed. So yeah, another aspect, once you have your token and your dApps in Valora, you probably want user to see your transaction in the Valora transaction feed and to have it all the transaction labeled correctly, because yeah, people easily get lost if they don't see why a transaction is in their feed, and because if they just see an address, it's really confusing to them. So here you can see MoonPay. Oh, and this is a really big amount. And yeah, so we are going to also announce soon how to make your own transaction, label them correctly in Valora. And yeah, stay tuned for this, because yeah, we're still discussing this internally. Okay. So next topic is name resolution. So we recently integrated with Namespace. So, woo! Yeah. So on top of sending transactions to phone numbers, you can just now use Namespace names, which is really cool. And we made this new system of name resolution really pluggable. So on top of Namespace, you can add your own name resolution. So we created this Resolve Kit library, which is open source on GitHub. So yeah, if you want to add another name resolution, just fork it and add your custom name resolution to it. It should be really straightforward. So yeah, check this link, and if you're interested by this topic. Okay, so final use case, on and off ramps. So yeah, cashing in and cashing out in all crypto wallets is really a tough problem, sorry. And so I don't have time to detail all of this in this short talk, but we've had 2 sessions. One happened this morning with Silas Regisser on connecting the world on on-ramps and access. So yeah, if you haven't had time to look at it this morning, please watch it in replay. And the next one we have about this is Fiat Connect, a universal API specification for caching in and out by Charlie Andrews and Joe Bergeron. And yeah, check them out tomorrow, I think in the afternoon, something like this. And yeah, that's it. Join the conversation on Valora Dev channel on Discord. And yeah, here is the slide with all the links. And thank you so much for listening. And I hope you will integrate your dApp with Valora soon. And if you have any question, please reach out to me or anyone from the Valora team. Thank you so much.
Cool. Good morning, everyone. Very excited to be here. A lot of pressure because of the two guys before me. Great wallets, by the way. I'm here today to talk a bit about what I call the story of an integration, what we did with Celo, between Ledger and Celo, what we are doing today, and what I hope we'll be doing in the future. Yeah, just a quick intro about myself. My name is Fabrice. I've been working with Ledger for a bit more than 3 years now. I'm responsible for what we call the developer ecosystem. So basically discussing with many, many teams that are building great products in our industry. So very excited again to be here today. A lot of innovation. If you want to reach out, I'm really here for 2 days, so just feel free to come and talk. Just a show of hands, who knows about Ledger and who owns a hardware wallet? Just to get okay. So I won't spend too much time on this, but basically Ledger is a security company. We build hardware products. These hardware products are here to safeguard your private keys, to keep them offline, and to allow them to allow you basically to use your keys both, to keep them secure both at rest and at use when you transact. We work with applications, so the same way your mobile phone has applications, we install applications on the hardware wallet. We are now, I think, close to 5 million hardware wallets sold. So just to give you a sense of, how many people are actually using hardware wallets today, that's not a lot, but that's still huge compared to a few years ago. And of course, your private keys are on the device, so whatever is linked to your private keys, you can manage. So tokens, coins, NFTs, all of that. On top of the hardware wallet, Ledger has been designing its own application that we call Ledger Live that allows you to do a bunch of stuff, mostly manage your cryptocurrencies, buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, and potentially Celo very soon. And we have both versions, mobile and desktop. I totally agree with the people before me. Mobile is the future. We started with desktop a few years ago, unfortunately, and now we're trying to take the mobile turn. I won't spend too much time here on this Ledger Live software, which is our own, but I want to emphasize that we don't want to restrict people to using just Ledger Live. The goal of Ledger is really to provide people with hardware wallets that are really secure and that you can use with whatever application. So everything you build is potentially compatible with Ledger. All you need to do is integrate our SDK. So one example for Celo, for instance, the Celo wallet app is already compatible. You probably know a lot of other applications that are already compatible. And our idea is basically we would like the Ledger hardware to become your key to Web3. So whatever you think you might do, we are very, very confident that security is important in our industry. You only need to do one mistake and basically you're screwed. So here the idea is to try to combine ease of use and security, and we are counting on you basically to make that happen because we just provide the hardware, but you guys are the one building the software that will make the best UX. And so we are still working on our own software, so I'm very, very excited to be here with you today because I'm here also to announce that we'll be integrating Celo on Ledger Live mobile and desktop this week, so that's coming live. It's just for now the send and receive support of Celo token, working actively on staking because obviously it's important and people don't want to get diluted, and you should see staking arriving within a month, I think. I want to take just a moment to express a bit what we did on this integration because it's really a teamwork. I'd like to thank especially the Celo team with Marek and Kobe, who've been working super hard for the last few years. They started by designing the Celo Nano application that you guys may be using. They are still improving it. I'll get to that in a few slides. And Marek has been really, really pushing a lot to get this integration going. So very, very excited to be here again today to basically talk about this. It's been a long work, and I think you can applaud them because they've been really, really doing a great, great job for the community and the Celo community as a whole. The other team that was involved is Figment. Maybe you know them, infrastructure provider. They they are basically the one who actually made the code in Ledger Live for this integration. So now you're probably asking yourself, what did Ledger do? And we didn't do much, actually. That's the beauty of it. We opened our technical stack, and people, so in this case, Figment, basically implemented Celo support on their own. So obviously, as you can see, there are many faces on Ledger, so we still did a bit of work. But what we did is mostly product and project management, code review, and quality. That's it. All the rest, the actual development, was made by Figment. And that's the initiative that we are doing now at Ledger. We're trying to open more our code base to external contribution. So we moved from a Ledger does it all approach to you can build on top of Ledger. What's next? So I don't know if you're aware, but we're launching a new product. We call it the Nano S Plus. I have one here, so if you want to take a look before maybe ordering one, I'm not pushing you to buy, but if you want to see it, just come and talk to me. You can actually see it in live. One thing that we will be working on in the next few weeks and months is how can we still improve what I call transaction parsing. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but basically your hardware wallet, if you don't look at what's on the screen, it's basically useless. So you should always be looking at what's on your screen. For Celo specifically, Kobe is working on improvements, and we're still making sure that whatever interactions you're making on the Celo network, you can now clear sign them, meaning you can actually see what you're doing before applying your digital signature. The next steps, release staking capability on Ledger Live, desktop and mobile, so within a month, I think that should be doable. And for the first time, Ledger will try to enter the staking space by running a validator node on Celo network along with Figment. So that's the next initiative that we'll be working on. Nano S Plus, I will not bother you with it too much. Basically, you have more memory, more apps, still the same level of security, and it's developer friendly. So whatever apps you build, you can load it on your device directly, and you don't need any emulator. You can actually test what you're building on a real device. Again, if you want to see it, just come and talk to me. We can grab a coffee and spend a few minutes together. Yeah, so I was telling you about the don't trust, verify motto. Always check what's on your screen. So when I was talking about transaction parsing, basically what you have right now on many applications and on the Celo application specifically is something like this. You don't know how, you don't basically know what you're doing. You don't know the amount you're actually interacting with, and you don't know the fees you're paying. So that's kind of useless. Thanks to Kobe and the team, we are now moving to this type of approach where any type of operation that you're making on the Celo network will be way more easy to verify. Just keep in mind we are working with embedded hardware, so all of this is actually quite challenging technically, very, very little memory, and so all of this has been extremely difficult to do. Again, really, really thankful for the Celo team to have improved this so much. A quick look at the UI. I think Alex was saying something really, really true. We need to have easy UX for users. Ledger is struggling on that. The reason is you own your keys. We don't. We cannot do anything for you. We cannot abstract a lot of complexity. If there is something at a protocol level to, I would say, facilitate the transactions, and one transaction can do it all, of course we can do this. But at the moment, we need you to make all the different steps. So I would say that's the trade-off between usability and self-custody. You have to do all of these operations on-chain. This is a quick look. I'm really, really eager to talk with you if you have any ideas for improvement. Again, Valora, great UI. Steakwallet as well. We are actually looking at what they do, and it's really, really impressive. But if you have feedbacks for us, please feel free to share. I think if we can all improve together, it will be even better. And finally, I will not take up too much of your time, but if you want to know more about everything you can do with Ledger, you have basically two places you need to go to. Developers.ledger.com. You'll find a bunch of information on how to for instance, connect a Ledger hardware wallet to your application. We have tutorials and code snippet. In a few minutes, you should be able to basically connect a Nano device to your website, for instance. And finally, the Discord server, discord.gg/ledger. And if you don't find the link, you'll find it again on the developer portal. Really, I'm here for the 2 days, so feel free to reach out if you want to talk. And thank you very much for your attention. Yeah, Eric.
Thanks for all joining. I do recognize some of you from 2 dimensions from all of those Zoom calls, and you look nearly as good in 3 dimensions. Today I'm going to do a quick demo of Trelis Pay. This is not a wallet, although I'll give a quick demo of Celo Tax, also not a wallet. And before that, a quick reminder that there'll be a merchant workshop tomorrow by Trelis at 1:15 p.m., which probably means 2:15 p.m., but let's see. Sliding over to Trelis Pay, this is a payment link generator if you want to send somebody an invoice, and you can use it with any wallet. I'm going to connect today with Celo Terminal. No, I'm going to connect with Celo Extension Wallet. Don't really recommend that wallet, but I'm going to use it. So here, you can put in your company name. Let's say, it's actually kind of hard typing with one hand. My Shoe Company. We'll leave no, we won't leave a misspelling. That's unprofessional. Product name, let's just put in shoes. So here you can select what currency you want to bill people in. We're planning to add further currencies. Soon people will be able to pay in Bitcoin Lightning as well, and it'll be automatically swapped into Celo dollars. Planning to offer other blockchains as well, all swapped into your Celo currencies. I'm going to make some extremely cheap shoes, and I'm going to put in my email here, which is also an opportunity if you want to send me any questions. So pressing on Generate Payment Link creates a QR code, which you could print or you could send to somebody. It also creates a URL, which you can copy. You could put it in a button on your website, or you could send it to someone. I'm just going to go ahead and click into that URL. So here's my page for shoes by My Shoe Company. And now I can make a payment. I'm again just going to log in with Celo Extension Wallet. Actually, I can choose to pay in any of the Celo stable currencies. Send myself a receipt here, trelis.com, and I'll approve the payment and wait for the 5-second block time, and hopefully my demo succeeds. So what happens once the payment goes through is there will be an email sent to the merchant, and then there'll be an email sent to the customer with a receipt and payment confirmation. I've sent them both to the same email, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that's how the product works. So a very easy way for you to use any wallet to create a simple payment link. And that brings us to part 2 of the presentation, which is to another topic, and one that is, it's not really near to my heart. It's about taxes. Yeah, round of applause, folks. So this is a tool developed after Celo Camp, and allows you to log in with a wallet and view your transactions. So I'm just going to go ahead here and again use Celo Extension Wallet. You'll be brought to this wallet page. The first thing you want to do is select your default deposit. So if you're transferring from an exchange, that's obviously not income. You don't want that tagged as income. So if you have a lot of transfers coming in from an exchange, you'll just say transfer from exchange. If you have a merchant wallet, like you're getting paid, like we get paid for Celo tax subscriptions, I'd mark it as income, because that means I'm getting paid by users, and I want to record that as revenue. I can also add new wallets here. You can add as many as you want. You can also add the wallets using NOM. So if you have a NOM, you can do that instead. And Celo Tax will automatically recognize transactions between the wallets. So it will just net those out as transfers. All right, the next thing you want to do is get a solid internet connection. Choose your local currency. I live in Ireland, so we have euro right now. You can choose your capital gains algorithm. Unless you live in Belgium or Portugal or Singapore, you can just leave the room because you don't pay that kind of thing. So yeah, we actually have to use FIFO in Ireland, so I'm going to select FIFO. That's kind of mean, but that's the way it is. Here's the CSV format. So we allow you to download a CSV file. You'll see that later on. Your accountant might appreciate that if you have a big account. You can also try and import your data into other tax software. Honestly, that's a bit messy. It's probably better if you separate out your Celo transactions and just handle them in this software. Of course, I would say that, but I do that for my own taxes, so you can take that for what it's worth. All right, and this little tool here allows you to go back in time. something we sometimes like doing. If you run a business, you might want to get a snapshot at, say, the end of last year, and so you can run a portfolio, something accountants like to do. I'm just going to leave it as today's date, and I'm going to go to the tax dashboard. So here it looks like I would have to pay. Am I going to pay? No, I'm too cheap. Okay, I'm going to actually reconnect here with my Valora wallet. So open up Valora. And I'm going to scan here with Valora. Oh, I think I'm hitting some internet connection issues. All right, let's move to plan B. Let me refresh here. Going to connect again with Celo extension wallet. And I'm going to show you the tax page. Hopefully the internet will be my friend. Okay, so once you've selected your settings, you can go to the tax page and it's going to calculate. If you were looking carefully there, you'll see I've now opened an account that has a lot of wallets. So it's analyzing all of my wallets together. And it's showing me here a summary of the wallet for each of the tax years, my income, my interest, and then my FIFO capital gains. And I can also look by token, so I can see a split of each of the years, my realized gains, my income excluding interest. And here's that CSV button where I can press download and get a full download in the format I chose. And the last thing I'll show you here is a portfolio page. This is useful if you want to see your total holdings, see the cost basis for your purchases. You can also click on the by token view and you can see what your unrealized gains are. Particularly useful at the end of the year if there's any final transactions you want to make in order to net out your unrealized gains. All right, that brings us to the end of the presentation. Thanks for the opportunity to the organizers to present with these folks here. I'll pass you on to Eric here from the Node. Cheers.
Hello, everyone. Super excited to be here. Super honored to be presenting with such great speakers. I mean, Steakwallet, check out their app. Their animations are amazing. Valora, obviously the OG Celo wallet. Ledger, my bank account does not like you. And then Celo Tax is saving my butt this tax season. And I'll let Kaala explain how seamless they're making payments. But in this presentation, I'm going to be talking about how us at NodeWallet are making DeFi easy for everyone. So my name's Eric. I'm co-founder and CEO of NodeWallet. Some of you may know me from Mobius Money, which is Celo's cross-chain stable swap exchange. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here and super excited to tell you what we've been working on at Node and finally to bring it out of stealth mode. So at Node, our mission is to bring universal financial access to everyone with a smartphone. And the specific problem that we're trying to solve is that DeFi is not easy for end consumers. You have to go to a bunch of different websites, connect your wallet, approve a bunch of different transactions, just to do one task. So our solution to this is to treat DeFi protocols as underlying infrastructure that could be integrated and aggregated into a single seamless product, what we call a super dApp. So what does a super dApp look like? Our first version of this is NodeWallet, and it's a non-custodial DeFi wallet that lets users manage their crypto tokens, earn interest, send payments to phone numbers, swap between tokens, and plug into any other application that we do not natively support. So when I say we're making DeFi easy, I mean very, very easy. The way I describe it is we let users get from point A to point B in a single transaction. And there's two ways that we do that. One is with our swap router that plugs into all the various exchanges on Celo. And the other is with our one-tap farming. To quantify this benefit to end users, I just want to show, like, if you were to use MetaMask or Valora to swap, for example, you may have to bounce between Mobius and UbeSwap to do so, depending on the tokens. And for farming, it could take anywhere from 3 to 8 transactions, depending on if you're a recurring user or a new user. On Node Wallet, we distill that down to 1 single transaction. Another big part about making DeFi easy is key management. Our goal here is to have a non-custodial wallet that feels like it's custodial without comprising on security. So I believe we're one of the first Celo wallets to offer biometric authentication. So your private key is stored in the device's secure enclave, and you can unlock it with the system password. And we're also working on social recovery and secure cloud backup, so users can abstract that away even further if they wish to. So without further ado, I'm going to get into a quick demo. So here you can see I'm going to open up the app, sign in with Face ID, then just connect the dots while we wait for it to load. Then you'll see it shows my portfolio and the portfolio balance, and it broken down into 4 different categories. Then you can also toggle over and see the individual tokens and yield-bearing opportunities that you are in. You can also deposit and withdraw super easily from your bank account or card or external wallet. Now I'm going to show you how to earn interest. As you can see, there's only a few options here. That's because I'm currently on basic mode. So I'm going to go back and toggle pro mode, and that will allow us to see all the various yield opportunities like stablecoin liquidity pools, volatile lending, and volatile pairs. For this, I'm going to show a deposit to Mobius because I'm biased. And we're depositing Celo dollars, but you could do this with any token, Ube, Mobi, Celo, whatever. And as you can see, it's that quick. You're in the farm. So it's swapping into the underlying tokens, then depositing to the liquidity pool, and then moving those LP tokens into the farm in one single action. And this is live on mainnet. Next, I'm going to show how to send a payment. So we have Celo dollars pre-selected. We'll just enter an amount, click continue. Then I'm going to scan my co-founder's QR code, click send, and then that will process as well. My internet at the hotel started to get a little bit slow here, so you might notice the transactions take a little bit more time. But as you can see, it's still super fast. And then again, verifying that it's actually taking place on the Explorer. Next up, we have swaps. I won't show a transaction for this just to keep it short and quick, but I will show that we have super sweet price charts. And a cool thing about our price charts page is that the background actually changes based off the token that's selected. So you can see here, there's Solana, which is Bridge from Allbridge. And yeah, lastly, we have our Explorer. Again, internet got a little bit buggy, so the NFTs are taking a bit to load. Here is an NFT from our launch party the other night. If you want one, hit me up. I'll be around. But I'm going to show how to send a Celo ape, again, to my co-founder's wallet. And you'll notice at the top there's another tab, dApps, so that's going to be coming very, very soon. But for now, we're just supporting NFTs. Again, internet got a little bit slow, so it'll take a bit longer, but it's done still super fast. And again, just showing that it's all legit and on mainnet. So yeah, we're on test flight. Scan the QR code if you want to download it. We're very early beta, so if you run into minor issues, bear with us. We're shipping new updates like almost every day. And our Android version is coming very soon. Oh, thank you. Not quite done yet. We solved that first problem, but then we realized, we can build a wallet for users, but we only really have expertise on a specific market, mostly the US and EU. And we recognize that we solved a really big problem, which is building like a simplified way for our developer to interact with all these various DeFi protocols. So what we did is we took that work and packaged it up into a React Native SDK. So any developer can super easily tap into the DeFi opportunities on Celo, cash in, cash out. We're building on top of Fiat Connect, and we're working on bringing CeFi integration, so like crypto cards and e-bank accounts. Some example use cases of what you can build with the SDK. Me and my co-founder actually built this in a single weekend. This is, again, live and on mainnet. This is a micro-lending protocol that piggybacks off of our wallet's infrastructure. You could also do super easy remittances and so much more. NFTs, obviously, stock vels, and really anything you can imagine. So I'm really excited to share what's currently being built with the Node SDK. So as many of you know, Impact Market is one of the golden childs in the Celo ecosystem, and we're beyond excited to announce that we've partnered with them to help them launch their own wallet. So this will allow their UBI beneficiaries to claim their UBI directly within app and earn yield on those funds super easily. We're also super excited to announce that we're partnering with Zeno Media. So Zeno is a radio app that's primarily based in emerging markets. They have over 40 million monthly active users, and they're looking to launch a remittance product with us. Shout out to Morris, the CEO, who's in the crowd right now. Yeah. And just real quick to wrap it up, I just want to give a quick shout out to my team. So Dylan, who's our CTO, also in the crowd. And we're part of a bigger company called Node Group, who's led by Evan, who's CEO of UbeSwap. And we're super excited to announce again that we brought on Emily Boschwitz. She's currently VP of Marketing at Cameo, the app where you can like pay celebrities to send custom videos to you. And we're super excited to bring her on and help us scale Node and the Celo ecosystem. And then just real quick, brief thing about Node. So Node is Celo's DeFi consortium. We're basically the top 3 protocols. We came together and formed this group. And what's really cool about this is, 1, it's coordination across protocols, but 2, we can also use our native tokens as incentives to help users learn about our protocols and interact with them. We've had some early traction. We've done, in aggregate, over $1 billion in volume. And including impact market, we have over 100,000 users. We also have a venture fund. So we invest in companies that could potentially be integrated with the wallet or use it down the line. And we run an incubator in Berkeley. We're just a couple miles away from campus. And this is actually where we held our first hackathon just a couple weeks ago. I actually see some of the winners in the crowd right now. So shout out to them. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out on the website. But yeah, I highly recommend you download the app using our QR code. And yeah, thanks for having me. And now I'll pass it off to Benoit from Kaala.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Benoit. I'm the founder and CEO of Kaala. So Kaala is the easiest way to send money on Web3. You might think it is soft to easily send money, but for a person like my dad who lives in the UK, it's actually still pretty difficult. The wallets nowadays are often country specific, and if you look at crypto, the crypto wallets often focus on very technical things like DeFi or dApps. And so we want to take a very different approach here and focus, okay, yeah, these are the wallets we're often using. It's great for most people here in the room, but if you think about people that are never used crypto before, this is very confusing. So we want to take a different approach and use Web 2 constructs and apply them to Web 3. And so nothing in our app is Web 3 specific. We abstract away the entire complexity. So we obsess on these 3 things to make it very simple to send money. So onboarding, depositing, and sending. Onboarding, you don't have any seed phrase to back up. Onboarding is very easy. You just enter your phone number, your full name, and you're in. Depositing as well, we try to make it as simple and easy to add and withdraw funds. And then sending, all you have to do is enter a phone number, an amount, and hit send. And on the other side, the person automatically receives the funds. So I was planning to do a quick live demo. Let's see if it works. Okay, so this is Kaala. So I just want to show you how easy it is to sign up. So I'm basically entering my phone number like this. We send you a text message with a one-time password, and you enter that password, you hit next, enter your name. Kaala. Yes. And you're in. Okay, just have to add a PIN code for next time, and you're in. And so your wallet is set up. You can start receiving funds like this. And okay, I just so I scripted this little reward for the demo. So got this little reward. That's cool. I also want to show you here. I can enable biometrics if I want here. So next time I log out, I can easily log in again. So this is the wallet. You can back it up through multiple ways. So we have cloud backup. We have also concept of a backup link. So you can generate a backup link. And so backup link is a deep link that is including an encrypted version of your private key. And so you can then store that in a secure way. But what I like about this is that when you then want to recover your funds, you just have to tap the link, and that will open the app and recover the funds. So this is one technique. You can use Google Drive as well to back up your link. So we don't have the concept of this seed phrase, which we think is often confusing for new people in the space. So let me show you how you can send funds to somebody else. You can here sync your contacts. I will send some funds to my buddy Isaac. Let's send $1, hit send, and it works. So that's how easy it is to send funds. I can withdraw. I can actually cancel the transaction for the first 30 seconds as well. And so, yeah, so that's the little demo. I'm also very excited to announce today that we integrated Odys, which is part of the Celo stack. Thank you. So, starting today, hopefully, because I'm still waiting for Apple to review the build, but at least for Android, it will be available later today. You'll be able to send to verified phone numbers through Kaala as well. So, let's say, thank you. Let's say I have here my buddy Geronimo, who's in the room as well. He's not yet on Kaala, but he has a Valora account, and his phone number is verified, so I can send him funds and hit send. It's just the same thing, and this will hopefully work as well. All right, Geronimo, did you receive the funds? Yeah. All right. Cool. So. All right, so later down the road, we're planning to integrate other services as well. So this is an example. So we want to make it very easy also for people to use DeFi. But again, like most here on the panel already said, it's very difficult to use. So we want to have a different approach and integrate or have this savings account that is super easy to use for people. Not like you see here in the screenshot, nothing you see is referring to crypto or Web3, and so this is really important for us. We just released the app last month in March and saw 10,000 signups, 8,000 additional people joined the waiting list, and we saw already $160,000 in transaction volume just in a few days. So very happy with that, and so yeah, we're building the easiest crypto wallet focused on payments for non-technical people. This is our mission. So if you want to test it out, I invite you to scan the QR code. You can use the Celo Connect code. This invite code, I mean Celo Connect is the code to test the app. And yeah, I'm looking forward. If you have any questions, come talk to me. And thank you for the attention. I think I'm the last one here in the panel, so I want to thank everybody for the attention, and yeah, that's it. I'm hearing if maybe somebody has a question for one of the panelists, so maybe if there's a question, let us know. Raise your hands.
Oh yeah. So given all the explanation on the different type of wallets, even though that at first glance they might look the same, how any of you try to tackle to interact with different smart contracts from Celo blockchain or any blockchain at all? And because there is a lot of opportunity out there, and smart contracts are quite unique, even though they might look the same. How you guys plan to tackle that in order to have this customization on interaction? Thanks.
So from the Steakwallet side, that's like our bread and butter, is all these integrations. Like we want to really, anything you can't do in the wallet, you can just connect via Wallet Connect, right? Like maybe right now we don't have Muller Market integrated, but you can just go to Muller Market and connect your wallet. But otherwise, like that's our job. Like our job is to go and interface with all these smart contracts. It's great that they're public and anyone can like read and write from them. So we have a Web3 team, right, whose primary job is to like take existing yield integrations or swapping integrations, right, and put them in our app with a nice UI, so that everything's kind of at your fingertips rather than having to like discover everything basically.
I'd say the same thing for Node Wallet. Really, it's our job to do that due diligence and reach out to the teams and get help if we need to on integrations. And I think that's a big reason why we're so bullish on our SDK, is because we handle that for other people who would like to integrate this with their own wallet.
Yeah. On Ledger side, it's a bit more complex. The device can only show you what it knows, and until we actually check the contract, we cannot know what you're doing what you're signing, basically. So we invented, or we designed the concept of what we call plugins. Basically, we rely on the same core feature for like Celo or Ethereum, and then we invite people to basically describe each of the smart contract interaction that you can do, and then Ledger reviews it. So it's a very painful process, as you can imagine. But we made a template so that any team can come and build its own plugin. So we did this for many dexes. We did this for Lido, for instance, on Ethereum, to basically be able to allow the user to understand clearly what they are signing. And the complexity is the smart contract feature or the smart contract function is not understandable for my little sister. So you need also to put the wording and everything accordingly. So when you stake, you don't put a stake int function. It's really stake that you show, and then you describe everything clearly. But this is a very big challenge. And I would advise, or I would love basically the protocols to have some kind of way for the contract methods to be self-describing. I don't know if my English is correct, but that the name of the function and the way it's used, basically, that you can understand how it works just by looking at it and not having to each time parse it. So this is something that is really missing in the space today, and this is, at Ledger at least, a huge bottleneck at the moment.
So, and on Valora side, so yeah, we have our roots in the Celo blockchain. So yeah, we've been thinking about going multi-chain, but this is not more in the like long term, and there's no definitive plan. But yeah, we're betting everything on Wallet Connect and our internal like dApps browser as well for the short term for our integration with all the dApps. But yeah, this is a really interesting question. And yeah, given Valora's route, it's a hard question, I guess. Thanks.
Hello. Yeah, for Kaala, it is so we don't have Wallet Connect, so we define what's available in the app, and so it's our responsibility as well to select which smart contracts we use.
Is this on? Yeah. I actually have a question for some of the panelists here. So one thing that I'm thinking about a lot right now is like we're all dealing with this huge proliferation of like new protocols, new dApps all coming out, and like so for example, the Node approach is to build an SDK, and any developer can come in and like add their own integration, right? The Ledger approach is like building this. It almost sounds like a registry, right? That you can come in and like self-describe your protocol. And Valora seems to be taking the same approach, but for many modules. So a dApp can describe their transaction history, right? How to like parse all these transactions and that kind of thing. So like how is adoption of that? Like it's a very nice idea that you give people the tools and they come and do all this, but how do we see that in practice? Like do people actually create these self-describing things, label things correctly? Yeah, would love to hear about it because we're also thinking about it.
Yeah, so this approach we're taking right now is won't scale, I guess, But yeah, we're definitely thinking about making this more universal, like we're doing with Fiat Connect. And we'll probably do something similar for like the rest of the integration I've shown. But yeah, it's a hard problem, but I don't know if anyone else wants to, yeah.
It's an excellent question. I think it depends on what exactly you're trying to achieve. So smart contract interaction, for instance, is a very, very specific and difficult problem. Adding tokens, for instance, could be way easier in terms of registry. This is basically a list. Anyone can do a pull request, and that could be quite fast. But for your question, I think at least that's what we're trying to do right now at Ledger. We're trying to kickstart the way things work. So we build the first plugin. We try to find teams in the ecosystem and we teach them basically how to do this, so that then they can basically go out and talk with many teams and try to explain the value of having clear signing for their contract. But it's very hard because until you actually see what it is, you don't realize the value. But really, I would invite you all to try, for instance, the Lido plugin. Once you do it once, you say, okay, I don't want to do data present blind signing thing ever again. I want to see and I want to understand. So the user value is clear. The only problem is you need to show it once. And so we are trying to build as many plugins as we can right now, but it will take a lot of time, and people are basically making their smart contract evolve over time, which makes it even difficult to manage and to update on our side. So it's a very big challenge, but we need to get there, I think.
Just a quick comment, because I don't build wallets, but it's the same problem for taxes, because we have to read into the smart contracts to see what the smart contract is doing. Are they staking? And then people take, say, like the contracts from Moolah, and then they put them into another layer of contracts, which is, you know, what the wallets do to make it a lot easier. So it's one click. So then we have to delve in another layer. And I think, I mean, the long-term answer probably is like Fiat Connect to have some standards around what is done in building those smart contracts. I guess the system is evolving so fast. There's a trade-off between imposing a standard too early on, maybe, and then like you get people stuck when things are still evolving, and like, you know, will we be using Solidity in 5 years or 10 years? So anyway, that's the tax perspective.
Yeah, I'd say for Node Wallet, I mean, the Celo ecosystem is pretty small, so we've actually managed to basically integrate all the big ones on our own. But where we've noticed a lot of interest amongst developers is dApps or protocols that are a work in progress that want to launch with an interface and with a user base. So I'd say that's kind of where we've found our niche with that aspect of our SDK.
Hi, can you hear me? So what's your view on informing the user with notifications? So let's say you have some sort of a interaction with the dApp and there's a payment happening on the other side. Would you go through centralized services like, you know, push notifications, stuff like that? Or do you expect Wallet Connect to evolve and then they have thoughts about, you know, also handle messaging in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I know Valora does push notifications. I believe Steakwallet does as well. And Kaala as well. We are working on it. We have the infrastructure to do it. We just launched, so in beta, so we'll be rolling that out. And yeah, I think that push notifications are super important for a good UX on mobile. For example, like if you were to take out a loan in our app, you'd want to be notified like if you're at risk of being liquidated. Alternatively, you can also just integrate another protocol that automatically pays off your loan to avoid liquidation. But yeah, push notifications are very important and I think crucial for mobile wallets.
Yeah, so from our perspective, the push notification problem, the transaction parsing problem, transaction history, they're all basically the same thing. Like, how can we extract information out of a transaction and show users? One thing we've been thinking about lately is, so one thing we do right now on Steakwallet is, anytime there's like an async thing, like maybe, for example, like staking Cosmos, the unbonding period is 28 days, and we send push notifications to users after that 28-day period. So there's actually something actionable for them to go and do. Otherwise you have to set up alarms and that kind of stuff, right? Or calendar notifications, which is a little bit untenable. But yeah, when it comes to like surfacing information from a transaction, that's like at the forefront of what we're doing right now. On Solana, for example, they have a RPC endpoint where you can, given a transaction, you can basically simulate the events that will be emitted, and there's similar tricks you can do with the EVM. So we're looking into like all of these things to like tie it together and make like a really nice holistic experience for users. Which part is centralized, sorry? Sure, yeah, no, that's a good point. We should look into decentralized push notification services, definitely. But I think if you're on Apple, you're a bit stuffed, right? To be honest. So, yeah.
So, and yeah, on transactions, like labeling and making sense of everything happening with user accounts, I think one interesting approach is with using the graph and subgraphs. So everybody, like, I mean, we could create a subgraph that works for like most of like Celo wallets, and they could like reuse some of this tech and be reused and scale to like many new protocol that pops up on the Celo blockchain. And this is something we've been thinking about, but no precise plan yet. And but definitely something we hope to solve.
Awesome. Yeah, well, it looks like we're at time. So thanks so much to my fellow panelists. Thanks so much for coming to listen to us. We're all going to be around, so please come say hello.